Welcome back to the next episode of 100 Apps, 100 Hours, where we build some of your favorite apps or die trying in 1 hour or less. So, I am your host, Bryant Gillespie, a developer advocate at Directus, and wow, today we have PIM, which I've only started learning about in the last few months in detail. So PIM stands for Product Information Management, sort of like a CMS for your products. But the main problem that you solve with PIM is having a single source of truth for all of your product data. Imagine that you've got different e-commerce channels like a Shopify store, or you're selling on the Amazon marketplace or Walmart.com. Being able to manage all those different products and all the variations and all the colors and images and everything that goes along with selling those products in one place instead of managing it in 3 different places or 5 different places is tremendously valuable. So there's a couple of other tools out there in the space. PIM Core is the name of one of them. Sales Layer and Plitix are a few of the ones that I took a look at. And when it comes to PIM, before we dive in to actually building this, let's just take a look at one of these solutions. So we've got a single source of truth where we find some screenshots. Can we find some screenshots? Kind of combines all of my products, all of my assets, and you can generate things like catalogs or product sheets and sync this product data to those individual channels, which is the biggest part, or to me, where the real value is. I manage all of this in one place and sync it elsewhere. So we are going to build a PIM in 1 hour or less. Right? If you've caught some of the other episodes, you already know the rules of the game, in that there are 60 minutes to plan and build, no more, no less. And the other rules are there are no rules. Use whatever you have at your disposal, which I will take plenty of advantage of in this specific episode. All right, so with that, let's open up our timer over here on the left, and we'll get started. So the first thing that I like to do anytime I'm building an app is just a little bit of planning. So what's the functionality? What does our data model potentially look like on the back end? I like to work back end first, just because it's so much nicer building a front end, if I need one, with actual live data. So what are the features or the functionality that we need out of a PIM? We need to be able to store and manage our product data, store and manage all product assets, images, video, spec sheets, etc. Let's make this a nice list. I'm a recovering designer. I can't ever get that out of me. And then we need to be able to store and manage. We need to control product variations. Product variations like color and size. Other things like that. Then we want to be able to sync that data with e-commerce. So let's call that Shopify in this case. And, maybe even have a simple product catalog where we could show off those products. Good enough. That looks like a pretty good set of base functionality for a PIM. We've got the single source of truth for that. Now let's dive into what our specific data model might look like. So we've got our products, and I'll do the lowercase version here. No fill. We could keep this purple color though. I like that. All right, so we've got our products. We've got variants of those products, so maybe product variants. I can imagine this is like the specific color, size, G10, things like that. We got a name, assets, other data. Very lovely. What else are we going to have? Probably some categories for our products. Categories or collections. Maybe those are even recursive. What else do we have? We have assets, which our actual backend that we're using today, Directus will take care of for us. What else is going to be inside our data model? This looks like a pretty good start, right? So let's actually dive in. We're about 3 minutes into it. Hate to spend too much time planning. All right, so we will log into our backend, Directus, today. I've got a blank instance set up. This is using the cloud service. So this is actually running on Directus Cloud and not locally, because we do want to sync this data, and I don't want to really struggle with CORS issues or anything else in local development, trying to communicate with Shopify or other systems. So you can see I've got a blank instance, and it might be helpful just to leave this up side by side. Keep an eye on the clock. So I've got my blank instance of Directus. What I love about it is how easy it is to go in and build out our data model. So let's just start by creating a new collection. We've got products, and we're going to give this a generated UUID for the primary key field. We'll add in a status, a date created, user updated, just some of the system fields that are like built-in utilities, basically. You know, we want to keep track of what user updated who and when, just so we've got that information. All right, so as far as products, we've got a name for the product. We probably have a SKU number, SKU part number. You could have a couple of different items here. We've certainly got a description of the product, which we'll use our WYSIWYG editor inside Directus for. That way we can embed rich content. Sounds great. What else are we going to have on the individual product? Like the price information may live on the product variants there, so I'll keep it there. We're going to have assets for this specific product as well. So I can go in and we'll create a new field, and we'll use the relational files interface here, which will actually create a junction table in our SQL database for us. So we'll do the product, let's call this product assets. Sounds great. And I could go into the advanced editor just to see what is happening behind the scenes. So we've got one collection called products. We've got a related collection called Directus files. That is a built-in system collection within Directus. And then it automatically creates this junction table for us. Now, if I wanted to adjust the name of the fields or control what this actual collection is named, I could turn off autofill and make that available. And maybe I do want to add the concerning field or the reverse field to our products. And we'll do a sort field just so I can control the primary images. Everything else looks great. We'll just save this. And now we've got some product data, right? Or a product model where we could start uploading our data. Hey, this is a shirt. And the SKU number is 1234. This is the best shirt ever. And we could even go in and upload an asset. We're probably going to do a little bit of copyright infringement here. Just copy the image URL. We can upload this, and I can do that by URL. Cannot fetch file from URL. Okay, service unavailable. So I guess I'm going to have to download this image, and then we'll just upload. So we get a pretty good idea of our basic functionality here. So now we've got our assets, and let's say I did want to browse this like a potential catalog. I could go into Directus. I could change this to the card view from our information sidebar, And then I would just adjust my image source here. It looks like we don't support many-to-many fields there. So maybe we go back in and add a featured image. Featured image. Great. All right, so this is just a single image that we want. So we'll go into that specific product, and I could pick this same image from the database. All right, great. So now I've got the featured image. We've got a name for the product. We've got our SKU number, and I could even go in and control how the image is cropped or not. So great. Now we've kind of got this catalog looking module happening. Let's go in and finish fleshing out our data model. So I'll just clean this up a little bit. We've got our product variants, and we'll use the generated UUID. Same thing, I will go in and add all these separate fields. Maybe we do have a sort field on the variant in case one variant takes priority over the other. Yeah, kind of hit or miss. All right, so we've got our product variants. What we are going to do is create a many-to-one relationship back to our parent product. So this will be the product, and we're going to choose the products collection. And this is a many-to-one relationship. So I'm going to go into the advanced field settings here. We'll just create a new a one-to-many on the other side of the equation back on our products table for product variants. So now what I've done in effect is link these two collections or these two tables in our database together so that we can query and keep track of them. So now let's do, what do we want to add for our other variant data? So we've got color, that's just a string. We've got size, etc. Great. We want to control a price here. Maybe we've got that G10, unique identifier. What is that? The global trade identification number, something like that. Let's go in and add a decimal. Actually, that'd be a float. And then we'll do maybe just 2 decimal places. Let's call this price. Great. All right, so now we've got some items on our variant. Let's go back and actually look at how this works. So I go back into our product, and we can see we've got our variants here. And if I wanted to create a new variant, I can. Let's call this red. We'll call it small. The GTIN is 666, and the price for this is $25. We could go in and create another variant. This is red. This is medium. 777, and the price is $16. Whatever. I can go in and actually set up our what fields are displayed here. This doesn't look very great just to see the UUIDs. So let's sort that out, right? And we'll make this just a little bit bigger as well. All right, so we go back into our data model. We go to our product variants. We look for our interface, and we have this control over, do we want a list? Do we want a table? Let's use the table in this case. And we will add our color, size. Maybe we'll do GTIN and price combinations. Now you also may have a variant that has a different image as well. So we could potentially add that as well. We'll just keep it simple for now. And for the related fields, let's show the color. We'll add just a little label for it so we know what it is. We'll have the size, and we'll add size here. So let's see how that looks inside our PIM. And great. Now we can see here's the different variants. There's the pricing, which yeah, maybe we want to format that a little more, but great. And we could click on those to edit that information, all that we need. All right, now let's build out our categories, right? This is the only thing remaining on our data model. We want to build out categories for our different products. So we have a category. We'll use the generated UUID again, and not sure we need like a status on these, but maybe we do want to sort. And cool. All right, so we've got a category name, probably a short description for category. You know, kind of splitting hairs on what detail you need for something like this. If we look at, let's just look at something like PIM Core. What do they have available on their website? This looks really kind of messy to me. So we've got some different objects. We've got media. You know, I don't really know for certain how others set up their data model for this, but to me, this is how I would do it. Now, I could go in and have something like another classification for this. We could use like tags as a different type of taxonomy, a different way to organize the data. But I also have, you know, probably subcategories and parent categories. So Directus makes doing a recursive relationship like that very, very easy, where I can go in and do a many-to-one or a one-to-many relationship. So I'll just do one-to-many. We'll call this the, these are going to be subcategories. Let's do the reverse. So this will be the parent category. We'll use the categories collection. So we're creating a relationship, a recursive relationship, and we're going to do the subcategories. So we've got parent category, which will be a single parent. Then we have subcategories. Great. So what effect does that give us, right? If I go in to categories, so let's create a new category. We'll call it apparel. This is, let's call it actually, well, like outerwear or something like that. Great. Hoodies, jackets, and such. And we don't have a parent category or a subcategory yet. So let's just create a subcategory like hoodies. Hoodies. Great. We'll save that. And now we can see we've got subcategories and, you know, potentially nest these. If I go back to our product, now we want to create a relationship with that category. So in this case, typically a product may only have a single category. I've seen some of these systems that will have like smart collections, which I think is a really neat way to model it. And I think even Shopify, so I've got a Shopify store set up here. Let's just take a look at how they handle it. If this can be in a multiple categories or no. So it looks just like a single category. You can set up different collections for it. So we'll keep this to be a many-to-one. So we've got a category. And our related collection will be categories. And for our display template, maybe we just want to show the name of that category. Now, one of the other things I can do is control the interface, how the related values are displayed, just to make sure this looks how we want. So now if I go into our product, we can select the category, hoodies, or outerwear specifically. Great. Cool. Now, let's say, what functionality? Let's go back here. I always get ahead of myself. So now we've got a way to store and manage all of our product data. We've got a way to store all of our product assets, right? So I could go in and upload, Let's say I've got a PDF here. I could go in and upload this PDF. If I've got a spreadsheet, I can certainly do that as well. I've got a CSV or whatever data that I've got, I can upload that and store it within this product. But what fun is it having these products in isolation? We want to be able to use these specific products. So out of the box, because we've set up this data model, we know the structure and everything, Directus gives us the ability to, it just gives us REST and GraphQL APIs. So I could go in and do something like this where we've got items.products. I'm getting an error message because I haven't set up permissions, but let's imagine we wanted to allow anybody to access this product information. I can go to our setup, we'll go to access control, and we'll go to our public role, which just controls what information is publicly available. And because none of this is secret at this point, let's go in and try it now. So if I hit refresh, we go to our products, we can see our product data. So there's the shirt, there's the SKU number, there's the description, we've got a featured image, UUID. And when it comes to our variants, I can't see that information. That sucks. How do we fix this? I can actually do something like this, which is one of my favorite features inside Directus, that I can query the related collections or the related fields from a single API call. So it's very GraphQL-like, even though this is REST-based. And there's a GraphQL API. I'm not a super huge fan. You may be. No sweat. So I could do something, we'll use a wildcard here for all the root level fields. And then let's go in and do something like this where we have product underscore variance. And then we'll get all of the root level fields for that. So as soon as I do that, now you can see, I start to see that data that we want. And maybe I don't need all of this. Maybe we just need the ID, product underscore variance dot color. And I could get a little more sophisticated and copy paste dot size dot price dot G10. All right. And now that will only return the data that I'm interested in, which is nice. Prevents overfetching, keeps things really fast when we are sending a lot of data over the network. All right, so we've got the ability to store and manage all of our product assets. Let's control our product variations. How do we sync this data with an e-commerce system? Right? We're managing all of this in a single location. Maybe I've got Shopify, which is what we're going to use. Maybe I've got an Amazon storefront set up. Maybe we've got 3 or 4 other things going on, right? So how do we sync this information, this data over? So I'm going to go to our store, and this is just the Shopify demo store that I've set up. None of these products are anything that I created, right? It looks like this is set up for snowboarding, which I tried once or twice, wasn't very good at it. But I'm going to go into the settings of this, and we're going to try to find how to get access to the API here. Let's look and see domains. Maybe it's here inside the apps. Okay, so we'll look for develop apps. We're going to create an app that can connect with this storefront. Let's just take a look at it and see what it actually looks like on the front end. Oop, we got a password protection right now. We're going to call this the Directus Shopify Sync, maybe. We'll create this app inside the Shopify store. All right, so it looks like the next thing that we'll need to do, we're probably going to be using the admin API because we're not building a shopping experience. We're trying to send product data to Shopify so that we can have that experience inside Shopify. So let's configure our access scopes. It's probably going to be around products. And I'm not sure exactly which one of these I need. Product listings, product feeds, viewer manage products. Let's go with that. We see the webhook subscriptions. We'll come back to webhooks. Let's just save that. What else do we need? We need some actual credentials. So we need an access token, a way to get that data. Use your client secret to verify incoming webhooks. Let's go ahead and install this app. This will give this app access to our storefront data. And we're only going to reveal this token once. And boom, we don't need it any longer. I'm not sure exactly how to set up the webhooks. Is that part of this? Start using the admin API. Do you have to create webhooks through the API? I don't know. If your app creates a webhook subscription, okay. So it looks like you do have to create webhooks using the API. Yeah. All right, we'll come back to that. No worries. All right, so now I've got this product information inside our account. I want to send it over to Shopify. How can I do that? Well, I could probably write some kind of custom app, or I could just go in and use the flows, the automation builder inside Directus. We're looking pretty good on time. We're at 36 minutes, so I'm just going to make this full screen so we can dive in a little deeper. Let's call this send products to Shopify. Now, how are we going to trigger this? There's multiple ways to set up triggers. So I could manually trigger this. I could set it up on a cron job, so a regular interval. For now, I'm just going to manually trigger this. And we'll trigger this on our products section. And maybe we'll require confirmation. Are you sure? Yes, we're sure. So the location here allows me to control where I can actually trigger this. So I'm just going to trigger this on the collection page only. No, I could do both. You know, I could potentially send one product, or maybe I want to send all of the products. We'll just keep that set up. All right, so now let's go in. We'll save this flow. And if we go back to our products page, on the right-hand side, I could see the option to send this to Shopify. So I check an item. Are you sure? Yes, we'll run a flow. And if I go back to our flow, I refresh and I don't see my logs. Where are the logs? I ran this flow. Where is it? Let's make it not require a selection. Not sure if something happened here. What's going on? So we'll go to our flow. We'll hit send products to Shopify. Go to flows. Okay. Now they're showing up. And we can see kind of the data that is being triggered here. So just collections, products. Great. Cool. So now how do we get this actual data, right? We will go in and read the data. So let's just call it read products. That's going to be the name of this operation. We're going to select all the products from the collection products. And then I could like filter this down if I wanted to. You know, maybe I just leave it all for now. We're going to select all the IDs and save it. And then once we read that data, we want to send to Shopify. Great. We'll actually use the webhook HTTP request. How are we going to send the data? It's probably going to be a post method. We're going to let's go back to Shopify really quickly. So we've got our storefront API documentation. Let's zoom in a little bit. Do we want the storefront? I don't think we do. So many tabs. So we go to admin, developer tools, API libraries. Oh boy, getting into the thick of it now. Let's go back to, where's our actual store, right? Explore, start using the admin API. Okay, very confusing documentation here. All right, so we'll go to our REST API reference. We'll look for products is probably what we want. We want to create a product. So there's what the product resource looks like. Here's our create a product. And there's our URL. So what does the base URL look like? Authentication. Okay, so it looks like the URL structure here is the Shopify unique shop ID or the shop slug, I'm assuming. myshopify.com/admin/API/API version/resource. So our base URL setup. So if we go back, we'll look something like this. Let's just pick up this actual URL. 100 apps, 100 hours. Nice slugified version. .myshopify.com/ what was it? Real genius here. Okay, let's go half screen. myshopify.com/admin/API/ what 2023-10-products.json. Okay, so there's our URL. Great. Now I've got that access token authentication. It looks like we have to pass that as a header as well. So we'll go into Directus, we'll add some headers. Got content-type. That's going to be application/JSON. And then we've got X Shopify access token. And then we've got this special token that you're not going to look at, you're not going to read, you're not going to try to use. All right, so now we can send a request. So we go down. We're looking for products. Again, we're going to create a product inside Shopify. All right, so what are the details we need for our products? We've got a product.title, body HTML, that's our description. We've got a product vendor. That's one thing we forgot inside our PIM that we could add. We've got the product status. So let's go in and just do something really simple. We'll do product. Okay. So there's our product. Then we're going to have a title for the product. What's that going to be? Let's take a step back here. I'm just going to save this. I need to see what actual data is coming from this call here before we get carried away. Create a new product. Can you create, is there an endpoint for creating multiple products? That's what I'm interested in. Create a new product, retrieve a list of products. Looks like we're just going to be able to create a single product at a time. So we may have to break this apart and do two separate flows. Imagine that I had another product. We'll call it test product. No, let's not do that. Let's call it a hoodie. So it is hoodie 1, 2, 3. Let's go to Unsplash maybe. Do a hoodie. And this looks like a hoodie with a statement, so we'll just copy paste that. Okay, we'll import the file from the URL. Boom, we've got a featured image, hoodie description. Great. All right, So now we got 2 products. We're just going to select these products. We're going to send well, what happens if we don't select? We could still run this flow. We'll take a look. We'll send these products down to our flow. And let's just look at the log, right? So now I'm getting an array of products. Okay. And maybe we want to do, we're going to break this apart because we're going to have to send a single product to Shopify. But before we do that, I want to format products, right? So we'll take our product, we'll run the format function. So Directus allows you to run arbitrary JavaScript inside the flows, which is really nice for stuff like this. We've got the data. So our products are going to be constant products equals data dot read products. I think that's going to be it. And then we have some formatting logic here, right? Just thinking out loud. So now I'm just going to save this really quick. And one of the other things that I like to do when I'm working with these flows is just copy the data I'm getting back right here. And I'm going to put it inside my code editor. I've got a starter project here just in case we needed it. So now I've got the data structure. And if I look at Shopify, gosh, we've got like 35 different tabs going on. That's the fun of doing these live, is actually trying to figure out how to keep it all sane on one screen. Admin API. All right, so we go to the admin API. REST admin API. So we go to our products. What things do we need to pass to our products at a minimum, just to actually create these products? So here we go. Here's a new draft product type of setup. Creates a new draft product. And let's just make this even more complicated, right? We'll do like a split screen. How do I? Somebody still needs to teach me to properly arc. All right, so I've got Directus, got our product. Okay, we got like 30 things going on here. A lot of fun. All right, so let's run a format script. We've got our data over here that is coming from our Directus database. Let's go in and add our logic here. We got products. Let's do Shopify products.map. Oh, no. Shopify products equals products.map product. Yeah, products. And then we'll return something. We got our function there. And then at the end of this, we're going to return Shopify products. So we're just going to return the array of products we want from Shopify. All right, so we got the product. And then we're going to return a title for the product, which is going to be the product.name. We need a comma there. Then we've got the body underscore HTML. That's going to be product.description. We've got product.vendor. We don't have that. Product.type. We could fetch that. And then for now, let's just try this and see how far that actually gets us. Product.name. We're going to return our Shopify products. Let's go back in, and I'll just make this full screen. Do products. I will look for our sidebar. Where are you, sidebar? There you are, Mr. Sidebar. We'll send the products to Shopify. Let's just test our flow and see what came out the other side, right? So this looks good. This is our format that we're going to send to Shopify. I'm going to take just my my headers that I've got here. I'm going to just stuff those in this. Take my URL that we so carefully constructed. And I'm just going to leave that. We're going to create a new flow. So we're going to go in and create Shopify product. And this will be triggered from that other flow. So triggered by another flow. We'll leave the response body blank. And here we're just going to do the HTTP request that we just did. So I'm going to paste in that. I've got my headers still stuck on the clipboard somewhere. I'll edit raw value. And now we've got that. And here, I think it is just going to be something like this, where we do... Actually, hit save. We'll just disconnect this for now. Hit save. Go back to our other flow and trigger that flow. And we'll just see what trigger Shopify create. And Directus will create a key for you. You can also rename this key, but this key, all the data that gets generated in this operation gets appended to the flow underneath this specific key. Let's just take a quick peek at time. How are we doing? We got 20 minutes left. Great. And then we're just going to trigger this flow. So we'll select the Shopify flow. It's okay to create these in parallel. And then for our payload, we're going to do simply this. We've got the double curly brackets. We've got the data. No, what's the name of that operation? Format product. Is that what the key is? We're just going to use this key. So we're going to trigger the flow and the data from that. Format product. We're going to pass that to that other flow. All right, so fingers crossed. Stay with me here. We are building cool stuff. So now we're going to send these products to Shopify. We're running that flow. And we can see here we triggered this. We got back null, null. This is what we sent to that. And if we go to our other flow where we're actually creating, we can see that this ran twice, which is what we actually want. We want to see the payload that we got was the product. So we're just going to pick up the trigger.payload, and that's what we're going to send. Great. Amazing. So in our request body here, we're going to do something like this, where we've got quotations, double curly bracket, trigger.payload. And trigger is prefixed with a $sign just because it's a unique special key to get the trigger data. And fingers crossed. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Can we send this data to Shopify? Can we build a working PIM in an hour? Let's test it out. We're going to run. I don't think it matters if I select these or not. Let's go in. We'll see. We have our send products to Shopify. That ran. Hopefully triggered this other flow that we have. We've got a Shopify product. Bad request. Da, da, da. By accessing the Shopify, you agree to parameters are missing or invalid. Okay, so we're missing some parameters. Let's take a look at the actual data that we sent. Payload, got the product resource. body HTML. Supports HTML formatting. Product status.draft. Shopify access token. It looks like the body is not defined. So I think I goofed up in that maybe we're just sending the trigger. Let's take a look. Did I get it wrong? Do we just need to send the trigger? So, let's make this more fun, right? Let's go to our Shopify store. All right, we're going to close this guy. All right, I'm on the products. I'm going to hit refresh. Dun, dun, dun. I don't see any products in here. All right, so let's go back. Obviously, I goofed somewhere again. And we're definitely in danger of running out of time here. We got a bad request, missing parameters. Okay, so there's the body. Product title. Product.html. What are we missing? 100 apps, 100 hours. We've got our access token. We've got our content type. Required parameter. Did I spell something wrong? This is always the danger of working against the clock like this. What is this issue going to be? Request body is product. Right, so product title, body HTML. I don't see where this is going wrong. Shopify access token. Bad request. Let's take a look at our app. Do we have the wrong scopes or something? Let's just try one quick tweak. Go back to our send products. For our format product, let's just leave out the title. All right, so we'll just comment this out. Return Shopify products. Send products to Shopify. Flows. Bad request. Product underscore. Is it the way that it is actually sending this data? What happens if we do something like this, where we've got trigger? Boom, boom, run. Created, boom. All right, so dramatic reveal time. Dun, dun, dun. We have sent this data to Shopify. Did we? Where did we go? Okay, so we've got a hoodie, we've got a shirt. There they are. Boom. Now they are in our system. That is how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we at on time? We've got 13 minutes left. We have managed to sync product data. Let's just take this one step further if we can, and let's create a product with, let's at least get the images over there, right? So on our product resource, we've got a list of product images. Create a new product image, create a product image using a source URL that will be downloaded to Shopify. Okay, so it looks like you may be able to pass these, and I'll just go in and very briefly, let's just delete these products. Delete these products. Can't be undone. Those are deleted. Those are no longer in the system. Let's adjust our payload here. So we're going to go back to the formatting option. We'll comment that back in. We can have that now, and then on the Shopify side, we've got, okay, so we got a product.images. This will be images, and then we've got an array, and then what? Array of objects, and then we just got a source attribute. So the source, if we look at our code again, right, we've got our featured image. Let's just pluck that for now. And we're going to do something like this, where we've got the source is going to be HTTPS Directus app / assets / what was the name of that? Featured _ image. Featured. Got to do our little squirrelies. Featured image. Close that off. Should be good. The last piece of the puzzle for this is going to be enabling permissions for the actual files inside Directus as well. Because Shopify needs to access that. So 2 ways I could do it. I can add an access token when I'm sending that call to Shopify. Or in this case, I'm just going to go in and we'll keep this really simple. Under Directus files, we'll do all access. And we're just going to send and cross our fingers, hoping that this flow actually works. We could do the dramatic reveal inside Shopify, right? I broke something trying to send the images over. Where did you go? Where did you go? All right. What broke, right? Clearly we broke something. Create Shopify product. What do we send? Product title hoodie. Did we actually break something inside the... I don't see my logs. 4 to 5 minutes ago. That's not correct. Run Shopify flows. Go into our flow. Less than a minute ago. Featured image is not defined. Okay, so we did not have one with a featured image, and that broke. What did I do wrong? Again, always fun on the clock. I guess you have to actually use product.featuredImage, right? Featured image. That would make a ton of sense. Too much sense, actually. All right. Last time, send products to Shopify. Did it work? Let's test our flow. Create Shopify product. Created. Good looking. All right. So if we open up Shopify, we go to our products. We can see our hoodie. Here is our actual data. So there's the image that we've got. There's the shirt that we loaded up. And this is all coming from our PIM, our backend, our single source of truth. So that is how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. We are syncing with Shopify. Last on our list. Can we get this in 8 minutes? I have no idea. We've got a simple product catalog. No, I don't think we could do this in 8 minutes, but let's give it a shot, right? We want to display all of our products on the front end of our website so people can browse those. So because there are no rules, I am a huge fan of Tailwind UI and Tailwind CSS in general. They've got some great looking e-commerce components that we may just repurpose for this. Like, hey, here's a nice product list. And and I've got a Nuxt starter application sitting here just ready to be used. So let's see if we can actually get this product information displayed and rendering on a product catalog in just a couple minutes. All right, so we're going to just forget Shopify for now. Let's simplify. All right, this looks pretty good. This is a with border grid. We've got a view component here. We've got our products. Let's just copy this template. All right, so we're going to go to our index page. We probably got some script action that we'll do there. For now, if we just copy their products, right? Constant products, not going to look great, and they've got an icon. So we'll do the star. Let's just omit the products ratings for now, right? Just comment those out. Run this. If I look at localhost, hey, now we've got something cooking here. Okay, and now let's actually fetch these products from Directus. We want to do this live, right? We're going to do what? We've got our products is equal to await. Use Directus. I've got just a composable here to fetch this data using the Directus SDK. We're going to read items, and that's going to be products. And is this actually going to be all we really need? Usually when I am developing, I often tend to do stuff like this where I will just render out the data inside the browser just to make sure we're getting the stuff that we need. Item/products failed. Oh wait, use Directus, read items, products. Why is this not working correctly? Well, that would be because I didn't actually set up the Directus URL properly. We are at 5 minutes, so I'm going to load my PIM URL here. That is my Directus base URL. The server token, probably not even needed in this setup, but we'll just reload. Let's fire back up the dev server. Let's see if we can get this data rendering from Directus. Boom. So there's our actual data, right? We no longer need this. Let's uncomment. And just looking at this data, we've got the v4 product and products. We want to render the product.id. We'll have that information. The image source, because we can use Directus as an image provider, it will transform assets for you. I'm just going to use the Nuxt image tag, which is already set up in this. We will use product.featuredImage. We'll just leave alt text blank for now because there's none. We haven't got that set up. We've got product.href. We don't have one of those currently, but we could do /products/ product.id. That would be probably the URL. We got a product.name. We got a product.price. What else? We want to fix the template structure here, and then maybe we want to render out div. We'll do like a Tailwind Pros class and give this v-html. We'll render the product description. Input must be a string, received undefined. So if there, let's make sure, oh, forgot the item there. Boom. So there we have it. We have got our items rendered out. We could continue fleshing this out with the help of Tailwind into a catalog. But now we have done several things, right? Let's recap with our final 2.5 minutes. We have created a PIM system that can store and manage all of our product data, store all of our product assets, control all of our product variations. We can sync that data with Shopify, and we can have a simple catalog. But Bryant, you forgot one thing, our translations for this data. What if I want to have it in French or German or Canadian? Bad joke for all of our Canadian followers. Apologies there. So with 1:30, how can we set up translations for this, right? How can I control other languages? So I'm going to go into our products. The first thing I'm going to do is just create a languages collection. We've got a language code, right? We've got a title or a name of the language. All right, and let's create 2 languages. We have EN, US, English. Are we going to do 55 seconds? Let's just say FR for French. I think that's the code. No idea. We'll go back to our product. Let's go in, and there is a special translations interface within Directus. Clock is ticking, Bryant. So we've got the code. We've got the direction field. That would probably be right to left. Use current language. We'll save this. And then inside our product translations, we would go in and do name. We would do a description. And where are we at? On time. 10 seconds. Bryant, can you do it? 10, 9, 8, 7. How do we add translations for this? We can do English name. So close. We hit the 60 seconds. I'm just going to finish this out, or the 60 minutes. We can do the French translation here and save it. So with Directus, we can manage all of these different things. We hit time there. That felt really good, though. We can manage translations or multilingual content. All right, so that was a fun one. Multilingual content. Really enjoyed this one. Building a PIM in 60 minutes or less. There's obviously more to this, but my next steps would be to flesh out that sync engine a little bit so that if we made updates inside Directus, I could send those over to Shopify. I could even use the Shopify webhooks in this case. If I made a change to that information in Shopify to sync it back into Directus. I would also probably go in and flesh out the translations interface just a little bit more so that I had all the necessary fields. And I may even have specific fields that we want to add to Shopify versus something like Amazon. So we could go in and do, some different channels that we want to send this data to. But for 60 minutes, amazing to see what you can actually build with Directus. Stay tuned for the next episode. I'm sure we'll have a good one, and you'll get to see me hack and slash and burn my way through another product. Ciao.